Are you sending a picture? If you will, if you are, I'm going to put my email address on here.
Okay.
Whoops, hold on a second. I gotta.
And it's actually it's on Khan Academy, so I need to find it because it was assigned
Well,
by.
here, hold on. I've just opened Khan Academy. Whoops. I wasn't sure if we were going to be on that or not. Is this close? Jonathan, I don't know if you can see or not, but I've got Khan Academy up here.
Okay. 1 sec. So let me check. So they had assigned it online. So there's a few. We had to do some unit test stuff just for Algebra 1 to kind of get back into the swing of algebra. And so.
Okay. Whatever you got, bring it on.
Okay. It's loading. So it's the Algebra 1 Solving Inequalities unit test.
From Khan Academy?
Yes.
So I need to back up to probably Algebra 1, I'm guessing.
Yep. Yeah.
And let's see if we can find a unit test here. Page you were trying to load doesn't exist. Do you have a URL that you can copy and paste in the chat window?
Yeah. 1 sec.
You might have it a little different. It may not be called Algebra 1. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm actually using another computer for the one I use for school, so let me find my login address and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, you'll need to give me all of that for me to bring it up on my screen.
Okay, I just about found it. Let's see. I get to the URL.
Now, you're going to have to send me the URL to the login. And then send me your user ID and password, and then I can get to whatever page we're trying to get to.
Okay.
You don't want to really get to it on your computer because then I won't be able to log in with that URL.
Yeah. So
at your login spot, send that to me.
Okay. So copy.
Okay. I see it now. Okay.
And then you're going to want to scroll all the way to the bottom.
Oh. I think I had it there. Start unit test.
Yep.
Need a keyboard for this, I presume, to put in the answers. Or just start at the top?
Yep.
No, start unit test. Start at the bottom. Okay. First of all, let me blow this up, or let me write. So if you don't know how to do these, I can do them for you. Okay. Or I don't mean I can do them for you. I can show you how to do them.
Okay.
So let's do this one first.
Okay. So 5x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 12. So we're going to first want to add the 4, right?
Yep. Just read just read the next line to me every time. I don't even need to know how you're doing it. Just read the next line.
Okay, and then 5x is greater than or equal to 16. And so then 16 over 5 is x is greater than or equal to 16 over 5.
Okay. Now, does that tell us the answer? Could be A, definitely not B, not C. There are no solutions. We may have to solve the rest of it to figure out whether there's any solutions. I'm inclined to think the rest of it's going to give us this A will be the answer. But let's just go ahead and solve this one.
So 12x is less than or equal to negative 9. X is less than or equal to 9 over 12.
Negative 9 over 12.
Yep.
Which reduces to?
X is less than or equal to negative 3 over 4.
All right, and that looks like answer A. All right. They say you might need a calculator, but I'd just assume you not use a calculator on any of these.
Okay.
Just because I want you to practice your math skills. And so far, these are all single digit. When we look at double digits, that's different. I don't have any problem with using a calculator on double digits, but if you got to use it on single digits, you're being slowed down way too much.
Okay.
Next line.
So negative 5x is less than or equal to 4.
Next line.
Negative 4 over 5 is greater than or equal to 5.
Start from the left. Don't start from the right. Start from the left always.
Less than or equal to 4 over negative 5.
Negative 4/5. In other words, it's important to understand that this is the same as this is the same as how it's traditionally written with the negative sign in front.
Okay.
Well, I wrote it like that. Okay. Now, you made one mistake there. What was in the last step you did? What did we divide by to get that answer?
Negative 5.
Whenever you divide by a negative number or multiply by a negative number, what do you have to do to this sign?
Flip the inequality sign.
So the answer is really this. And that's the only extra thing you have to do is whenever you're dividing by a negative number, which I was, -5, or multiplying by a negative number. So x is greater than or equal to -4/5. Now I got to figure out this. Let's see. X is greater than, or was it less than?
It was.
After I switched it, it became greater than. Yeah.
Yeah.
-4 divided by 5. Should work. Okay. Well, let's solve it just like we've solved every other one.
Okay. So.
Next line.
5m is less than or equal to 3. And then, so m is less than or equal to 3/5.
Okay. Now, does A work? Does A satisfy that?
Nope.
I'm sorry, what?
No.
A is equal to 0 is not satisfy m is less than 3/5?
Oh, it does actually, yeah.
About 1. Does B satisfy?
No.
Does C satisfy?
No.
So A is the only one. Okay. Need a little writing room. So the very first sentence, he needs to schedule employees to staff the deli department at least 260 person hours per week. So if we let H be the number of hours, what's an inequality that tells me what H needs to be?
Let's see. So if H is the number of hours, then...
Or person hours.
Okay.
H equals person hours. That means one person for 8 hours is 8 person hours. 2 people for 8 hours is 16 person hours.
Okay. So
what's this restriction mean?
This means that n must be greater than or equal to 260.
Yeah, it's H, but greater than or equal to 260, that's correct. Now let's go to the next one. Tom has one part-time employee who works 20 hours per week. Each full-time employee works 40 hours per week. Okay. Write an inequality to determine N. This first one is H, person hours. N is the number of employees you have to schedule.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, as part-time employee, what are we going to do here?
We're gonna subtract 20 hours from 260.
So we need to schedule 240 person hours amongst 40-hour-a-week workers. How many people do I need?
You need 6 people.
Yeah. So I need, let's see, write an inequality to determine N. So N has to be greater than or equal to 240 divided by 40. Which is, and then identify which graph represents the solution. Well, I can see right away that A looks like it's going to be the graphical answer.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, yeah, no, I think this is going to be right. N is greater than or equal to 6.
Okay.
N is greater than or equal to 6. And it's number A. Notice number B is less than or equal to 6. And number C is less than 6.
Okay.
A solid line and an open, or a solid dot and an open dot.
Okay.
Okay, solid means the equal also goes with it.
Yeah.
Number D was just greater than 6. Well, he doesn't need greater than 6. He can get by with 6.
Yeah.
6 times 4 will give him 240 plus his 1 part-time, 260.
Okay.
All right. Let's see, got all of our answers up there. We have to choose one. Solve each one.
Okay. So
let's tackle the one on the left first.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. So 42.
Hold on. Start from left to right.
Oh, yeah.
Where are we going to end up with the x? On the left or the right?
On the left.
So we got to get all the numbers to the right.
Yeah. So negative 42.
No.
I mean, negative 6x is less than negative 42.
Okay. For some reason, your mind wants to go right to left. In other words, you want to do the 42 first. But let's not forget the minus 6x is still there, even when you subtract 14 from both sides. What's the next line?
So then it's x is less than. Oh, it's greater than.
Because we're dividing by a negative number.
It's greater than 42 over 6, which would then simplify to 7.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Correct. Okay, let's solve the second one. Now, the difference here is there's an and, not an or. We're going to notice what that means, the difference between what that means. Solve that.
Okay. So 3x is less than or equal to negative 3. So x is greater than or equal to.
This time I'm dividing by a positive number. It's not the negative 3 on the right that you have to worry about. It's what you have to divide both sides by. And I'm dividing by a positive 3. So I get x. I don't change the direction.
So negative 1.
So when it says and instead of or, both have to be true.
Yep.
Can both be true?
Yes. Yeah.
Give me a number that's greater than 7 and also less than minus 1.
Oh, wait. No.
Notice that says or. That's not the right answer. There are no solutions.
Okay.
There are no values of x that satisfy both of these at the same time.
Okay.
And that's the difference between or and. If this was an or, then A would be correct. You could have numbers either less than minus 1 or greater than 7. Any x that's less than 1 or greater than 7 would work. But to be and, both of them have to be true. Give an exact answer in simplified form. Okay, this is interesting. What do we notice? Well, no, I thought it was going to be more interesting than it is. I thought the R's were going to disappear on us.
Yeah.
But they don't, notice. If they'd have both been the same sign, they would have. And then I'd have had an impossibility. I'd have had minus 21 is less than 19. I know that's actually true, but it's not the answer in this case because it's not positive 35R, it's negative on the right side. So what's the first step?
So 70R is less than 40. So R is less than 40 over 70.
4/7. You can knock off zeros, do it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I can knock off however many zeros from the numerator as the denominator, you can always do it.
Okay.
Okay. So that appears to be the only solution. Yeah, I'm puzzled as to why this question's on there. Before I answer it, what if this was a positive?
So if it was a positive, there are no solutions?
Well, not really. If it's a positive, you got 0R on the left side, and you got minus 21 is less than 19. Is that true?
Yes.
So what that tells you is that it's actually true no matter what R is.
Okay.
In other words, if this was the problem, it's true for all R.
Yeah.
Because I could make R 10, it would be true. I can make R 100, it would be true. I can make R a half, it would be true.
Mm-hmm.
The R's are always going to cancel, and you're always going to have minus 21 is less than 19. Now, if I had plus 21 is less than 19, well, that's not a true statement. That's a false statement. So it would not be true for any R.
Okay.
Okay? So when the variable disappears and the statement is still true, then it's true for all R.
Okay.
In this case, what did we have? 4/7. R is less than 4/7. Well, at least it doesn't make you use this quotient box to do that. Okay, again, let's solve the inequality. That's always the easiest first step on these.
Uh-huh. Okay, so 5 is greater than or equal to j.
Okay. Now, on inequalities, this tends to confuse people when the variable is on the other side. For an equality, it doesn't matter. If you're solving an equation, then I'd say put the variable on whichever side gives it a positive coefficient, not a negative one.
Okay.
But when you're solving an inequality, this can really throw people because the j is on the other side and they're not quite sure how to interpret it. If I wanted to turn that around, what would it look like?
So j is less than or equal to 5.
Yeah, and that's the more conventional. In other words, to switch these two without changing the sign, just turn the inequality around. And you can always figure it out because what this really says is that j is less than or equal to 5. That's what it says, just because it's on the pointy end of the arrow, right? In other words, even from this step, I would not say 5 is greater than or equal to j. I would say j is less than or equal to 5. So we might as well write it. When you're doing inequalities, it's better to write the variable on the left. But just be careful. When you have it on the right and you want to switch it, just switch the two terms and the direction and you're fine. But don't change any signs.
Yeah.
So, which answers work?
So 5. Yeah, and 5, and then also all of them actually.
Okay, good. 1, 2, 3. "12 times a number x subtracted from 34 is greater than 8. The goal here is to write the inequality that that sentence describes. And you know what? Yeah, no, it's better because they almost never put these in the order. In other words, you would think that you could say 12x minus 34 is greater than 8. But notice it's subtracted from 34. In other words, they're giving it to us out of order. They're not giving it to us left to right. If they'd have said 12 times a number minus 34 is greater than 8, then we would know how to write it. But how do I need to write this one?
So you need to write it. So 12x minus, so 12x.
Hold it. Subtracted from 34.
So 34 minus 12x.
There you go.
Is greater than 8.
Yeah. And this is really, really common when they're giving you word problems that they want you to put into either equations or inequalities. They will almost always give it to you out of order, especially when there's subtraction going on.
Okay.
You know, they'll say 3 times a number is less than. And when you see less than, it means it's subtracted from whatever follows.
Okay.
So just remember they don't go in order. You cannot write these from left to right as you see them. They're almost never in order.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and solve it because I can see we need both of them.
So then that would be, let's see, it would be 20, 26.
Hold on.
Well, negative 12x is greater than.
In other words, when I say go from left to right, you're going to move the 34 to that side, right? So what's left is the minus 12x. That's the first thing on the left.
Yeah.
Greater than what?
Is greater than 8.
Now this one's okay to use a calculator. This is double digits.
Okay.
Just because the thing you have to be proficient at is single digits. Double digits, I use a calculator in double digits. I don't want to make a mistake.
Yeah, so it's greater than 26. Negative 26.
Which makes x what?
X is, let's see, so would it be, it would be less than 26 over 12, which would be 13 over 12.
13 over 6.
13 over 6.
In other words, 26, actually it starts out minus 26 over minus 12.
Okay.
Minuses cancel. Now I can cut the top one in half. I can cut the bottom one in half. I can't do anything more.
Okay.
So that's the answer. Let's see. So I need that one there, and I need that one there. Try to remember them because they're going to disappear from this page. So I got 34 minus 12x is greater than 8. 34 minus 12x is greater than 8. There's our first answer. And this was x is less than 26 13/6. One more. All right. Taxi cab problems. Always a little tricky. They're probably the trickiest word problem, although this one might not be. What's the first thing we want to do on any word problem? I mean the first step. If you never forget to do this first step, you will have no problem with word problems. I know everybody hates word problems, but that's because they always forget this first step.
So cancel out all the words that don't result in like the math equation.
The first step of a word problem is to define your variable and what it means. That's always the first step. Now, they don't always do that for you. In this case, they do. They do that step for you. So M is the number, and spell it out. Know exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times when they're dealing with Coke and popcorn problems, there'll be the number of Cokes you sold and the price that you sold each one at. So you want to spell it out so there is no mistaking. The number of miles ridden. Okay. Well, let's see. The ride costs $5. Put that in an equation.
Okay. So
just that part. Forget that you used to have $20 to spend. We'll get to that.
M is equal to 5 plus. Oh wait, no. So
what's here? Let's let C equal to the cost.
Okay.
Of the ride.
So C is equal to. So C is equal to 2.5 M plus 5.
Good. Okay. Write an inequality to determine how many miles you can ride for $20.
Okay.
What does all of this have to be? That's the cost of the ride, but that doesn't really relate to my $20. The cost of the ride has to be what?
The cost of the ride has to be 20, or no.
Less than.
The cost of the ride has to be less than or equal to 20.
Yeah, if you're going to get a taxi cab and you only got $20 in your pocket, then you're going to make sure that the cost of that ride is less than 20, right? Or equal. You don't want to get out of that ride and the guy tell you $21 and you only got 20 in your pocket. So the cost of your ride has to be less than how much you have. So this is going to be the answer for that. Just this part of it here.
Okay.
What is the maximum whole number of miles you can ride? Well, we're going to solve this. Let's solve this.
Okay. So 20 minus 5.
Start from the left.
So that's 15.
Hold on. 15. Start from the left.
Okay. So.
Not this left.
Okay.
This is cost right here.
Yeah. So 2.5 M plus 5 is.
Well, now you can move the 5 over. There's no point in rewriting what I got.
So 2.5 M has to be less than or equal to 20.
20 minus 5.
Yeah.
Right? In other words, I want you to move that 5 over. I just don't want you to do it as the first step. When you do it as the first step, it's too easy to forget you still got a 2.5 M over here. That's what I say. I want you to go left or right. We're going to start right there. It's going to stay there. This is what we're moving, is that 5.
Okay.
Okay. Now, again, I'm going to make sure the M ends up on the left side. Your calculator, what's 15 divided by 2.5?
15 divided by 2.5 is 6.
That's how many miles you can go. If you go any more than, notice if you go 6 miles, that'd be 15 plus 5, that'd be $20. Go 7 miles, it'd be $22.50.
Yeah.
So we got 2m plus 5 less than or equal to 20. 2m plus 5 has to be less than or equal to the amount of money we got. Isn't there another part to this?
So what's the max numbers of that maximum number of miles?
6, but it doesn't give me a place to fill it in.
You're going to click off of the
I had it covered up, but I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Now, what if the answer would have come back 6.1?
I'm not sure.
It's 6.
Okay.
In other words, what is the maximum number? They really should have said the maximum number of no, they said it right. The maximum whole number of miles you can ride. In other words, if the answer came back 6.1, we could go 6.1 miles, but the maximum whole number of miles that is 6. I mean, if the answer came back 6.9, the whole number of miles you could go is 6.
Okay.
Okay. What? I got sloppy. It's 250 times m. I wrote 2m.
Okay.
All right, that should be fine. Seriously? They want us to retake the test?
I don't think I think, so I just have to get an 80% on it for it to be good.
Okay.
So I guess they want for us to get 100%, but.
Well, you got 8 out of 9.
Yeah.
Sorry about, the only reason you didn't get all of them is because I mistyped it. In other words, I can't read what I've already written when I go to fill it out, so I'm doing it based on memory. What next?
Yeah. I'll send you another link to another test, I guess.
Okay. In other words, you're supposed to take the unit test 1 and then unit test 2?
Yeah.
Can I find it from here?
I'm not sure. Let's see. Because I think they're all on different kind of units. So I don't think that unit would work.
Okay. I close that out.
Got the link.
Level up to level 2. We've reached level 2. So I can't type on it.
I just sent you the link.
Okay. Let me go back and close out that page. I don't need that one open anymore. So start unit test?
Yep.
Make sure I don't make those kind of mistakes anymore. You may have to, I hate to make a mistake that affects you.
Yep. Don't worry, I just have to get 8%. So.
Okay. See, unfortunately, when we solve it here, I have to erase this in order to fill in the answers. So, all right. Go ahead and solve that.
Okay, so negative s over 2 is greater than negative 4.
Okay.
So negative s is greater than -8.
Okay.
S is less than 8.
Good. Which answers apply?
So A and B.
B?
Oh, not B, yeah, just A.
Okay. Saul needs 18,000 points or more to break the record. All right. What I say the first step for solving word problems is?
The first step is to write out an equation.
No, it's to define your variables.
Okay.
Always. Okay. And again, they're helping us out here by defining W, how many 7-letter words? That's what W is equal to. W equals the number of 7-letter words. Okay, you get 100 points for playing the game. In addition, you get 50 points for each 7-letter word you're able to make with the 10 letters you are given. Okay, so number of points, that's another variable. We'll call that P. P equals the number of points.
Okay.
So what is an equation for P?
An equation for P is 50.
Hold on. Yeah, okay. I want to go left to right again. In other words, start with the first piece of information. You get 100 points for just playing.
Okay, so 100 plus 50x.
Correct. Or 50w.
Yeah.
So that's the equation for the number of points. And they want us to write an inequality. So what does the inequality need to be?
So P must be greater than or equal to 18,000.
Okay, so a better way of writing that instead of P is, let's make what P was equal to. That has to be greater than or equal to 18,000.
Yeah.
Not really P. They don't want it in terms of P. They want it in terms of W.
Yes.
Write an equation to determine how many W's are needed to break the record. Okay, so that's it. I guess I can remember that. 100 plus 50W is greater than 18,000. So 100 plus 50W. He wants to break the record?
Yeah.
I guess I could say greater than 17,950, right?
Yeah.
Or I could see greater than or equal to 18,000. They're both the same. So let's use the greater than or equal, because they specifically have said that, okay, and we still have work to do on that. I don't know why I didn't do it. So 50W is greater than or equal to 17,900. What is 17,900 divided by 50? 358. Got to be 358.
Yep. It is.
So we want W to be greater than or equal to 358. Which of those four graphs says that?
Pink.
Okay. So we got our equation and we got the pink. Now I'm nervous. I don't want to make a mistake. All right. Boy, this is all about inequalities, huh? Every problem we've done.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me the next line. Hold on a second. My writing thing isn't working. There it goes. Okay. Next line. Well, first of all, which side of your B is going to be on?
Well, they'd be on the left.
I'd say so. Whenever you have a variable, keep it on the left when you're dealing with inequalities. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about whether its coefficient is positive or negative, because it's actually more confusing if it ends up on the right.
Okay.
More confusing to people than having to switch the sign by dividing by a negative. So let's keep our B's on the left. So what is the next line going to be?
So the next line is going to be negative, let's see, negative 76B is less than or equal to 37.
Next line.
So B is going to be greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to negative 37 over 76.
Now, can that be simplified?
No.
And the reason being is 37 is a prime number. Mm-hmm. So there are no factors of 37 other than 37 and 1.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be able to find a number that I can divide top and bottom by unless it's 37. In other words, if this were a 74, then I could reduce that to 1/2. But the fact that the denominator is not a multiple of 37 tells me that I'm not going to be able to simplify this, because there's no other number I'm going to be able to divide into the top other than 37, and 37 doesn't divide into the bottom. So that's going to be our final answer. Greater than or equal to negative 37 over 76. B. Greater than or equal negative 37 divided by 76. Right? Yeah, it was less than. Okay. Again, here's an or. So whatever solution both of them come up with, we can use either one. So there almost always is going to be a solution, as opposed to an and where both of them would have to be true.
Okay.
Let's solve the first one.
So 50, so 46.
No, start from the left.
8x is...
What is it, negative 8x or positive 8x? That's why I want you to start from the left. It's because if you start from the left, you can't make a mistake.
Yeah, so negative 8x.
Now I got to get rid of that 14.
Okay. Greater than or equal to 46.
All right, next line.
So x is less than or equal to negative 46 over 8.
Can that be reduced?
Yes.
Can definitely cut them both in half, right?
Yep.
So that's negative 23 over 4. Now, can I reduce that?
No.
Same reason, because 23 is prime and 4 is not, 46 would work, but the denominator's either got to be a multiple of 23 or it's not going to simplify.
Okay.
Okay. Now, or minus 4x plus 50 is less than 58. Solve that.
Okay. So negative 4x is less than 8.
Keep going.
Okay, so x is greater than 8, negative 8 over 4.
Simplify.
That would be 2, negative 2.
Negative 2. Okay. So we got this answer here, or this answer there.
Okay.
Well, that looks a lot like A.
Okay.
Now, this is a case where if I had like negative, or let's say I had x was, let's say I solved the whole thing and I got 1 is greater than negative 2.
Mm-hmm.
No x. Just 1 is greater than negative 2. What that would tell me is that is a true statement regardless of what x is.
Uh-huh.
If I got 1 is less than negative 2, that would tell me that this is never true, because 1 is never less than negative 2. So no matter what x I use, it's never going to be true. So that's the difference between all values of x are solutions and no values.
Okay.
Usually you get the no values when you're dealing with an and you get all values only when the variable disappears. In other words, if it cancels out from both sides.
Okay.
Okay. So we're looking at A here. Okay, here's an and question. Now, and doesn't necessarily mean there's no solution.
Okay.
It can't be contradictory. In other words, whatever I solve for, both of these, well, let's solve them. What's the first one going to give us? What?
So the first one is going to give us 7x is greater than or equal to
14.
Let's see. Let's grab the calculator.
14. That's okay. I can do some of these in my head.
14.
Which means x is greater than or equal to 2.
Yep.
And 16x is greater than 16, which means x is greater than 1. So we've got x is greater than or equal to 2, and x is greater than 1.
Okay.
So what values of x satisfy both of those? Only values of x greater than 1.
Yes, so...
No. No. This is a little fuzzy logic here. I got that wrong. Both of them need to be true. So if I had an x of 1.5, the first one wouldn't be true.
Yeah.
If I had an x of 3, they're both true.
Okay.
So what x do I have to make both of them true?
X is greater than or equal to 2.
Yes. One more.
Okay.
It's an easy one.
So H is, it's all the answers actually.
Oh
wait, no, it's only 12. It's only
unfortunately, my writing thing decided to stop working. Let me see if I can get it working again. Yeah, now I got it. Okay, so start. Now, in this case, the H is on the right side already. So let's just go ahead and solve it and then switch it.
Okay. So H is less than or equal to 12.
Okay, so we got 12 is greater than or equal to H. Now, if I turn that around, how should it read?
12 is less than or equal to H.
If I turn it around, I want to get the H on the left side.
So H is greater than or equal to negative 12.
Nope. So all you have to do is switch the two terms and switch the sign.
Okay.
And think about it. What this is saying, if you want to read right to left, that's fine. It actually works pretty good on these kind of problems because it's telling you H right here is less than, because the arrow is pointing at the H. The H isn't on the other side, otherwise H would be greater than. But it's telling you that 12 is greater than or equal to H. So I got to have an H that's less than 12, right?
Yep.
That's how I get that.
Okay.
In other words, this makes perfect sense. It agrees with that. If it was negative 12, it wouldn't. You don't want to add in negative signs if you don't have to.
Okay.
Okay. Another way to think about this would be if I move the H to the other side, it becomes minus H.
Yep.
I move the 12 to the other side, it becomes minus 12. And now if I divide both sides by minus 1, which is what I need to do, now I got to turn that around so you get H or equal to positive 12. Choose all answers that apply.
Yep. So it would just be A.
Correct. All right. I will let you go, Jonathan. I think you're getting the hang of this.
Okay. Bye.
You have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.